starting tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. That's nightly news for this Monday. Thank you for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
KUAM TVH, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. New Jeep Gladiators receive 20% off now at Cars Plus. Named the best vehicle for adventure in 2024. Get your Jeep Gladiator today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Be careful out there. We do have fentanyl here in Guam, and it did come into our facility.
The acting warden of the local prison admits the drug smuggling problem at the Department of Corrections is getting worse.
Many people have just come by just to say, welcome back.
Time to reel it in. A local favorite is back and now open to serve you. I'm Katie Azon with the story tonight.
These flags donated just in time for a special celebration. Happy Pride Month, everyone. I'm Shauna Murata with the story later tonight.
Hafa and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Short-staffed, overcrowded, and dangerous drugs getting on the inside. The Department of Corrections discussing issues today while asking senators for nearly $2 million more for its upcoming budget expenses.
But the bigger takeaway from the hearing was when the acting warden admitted drugs known to be deadly is somehow being smuggled inside. A dangerous drug among the many illegal items making its way into the Department of Corrections prison. Acting Warden Major Mary Helen Lazama admitting that reality to senators during their agency's budget hearing Tuesday. She also took the opportunity to warn the public on the outside.
My advice to the public, be careful out there. We do have fentanyl here in Guam, and it did come into our facility. Okay, unfortunately, that drug, they lace the other drugs such as meth, they lace it with fentanyl. And that drug, the fentanyl, is 100 times more potent than morphine. So the individual, the addict, that's a message to them outside, be careful what you're consuming or what kind of dope you're smoking because they're lacing it with fentanyl, okay? And also the fentanyl, from the information we got, the cartels, the Mexican cartels, the young ones created, something like a blue pill that's like candy. So now those things, unfortunately, it came into Guam somehow. We have to be very careful. The one to get rid of that is soap and water. Don't use alcohol. Okay, so be careful. Use a mask when you're handling contraband. You have to use a mask and gloves. Because all those people out there, they better be careful when they're smoking drugs. It don't matter. Cigarettes, marijuana, methamphetamines, amphetamines, cocaine, guess what? They're lacing that with fentanyl.
The concern comes about 3 months after local and federal authorities made a major meth bust. At least 2 prisoners are facing additional charges in the District Court of Guam, and DepCorp leaders say the investigation is far from over. In total, DepCorp is requesting more than $41 million for its fiscal year 2025 budget. The money they hope will help them to increase manpower, beef up security, and prevent more contraband from being smuggled inside.
The men and women accused in the Valentine's Day killing of a Dededo mother will have their day in court. Co-defendants Domingo Mendiola and Jenna Manabusan appeared before presiding judge Alberto Lamarena in Superior Court today. A trial date has not yet been set. Now, it was said in court that defense will argue a motion to dismiss the charges against Manabusan. As KUAM reported, the pair stand accused in the shooting death of Sumitra Lairopi. The deadly robbery occurred outside of the Thai restaurant in Tamuning in February. KUAM also confirmed defendant Johnny Atalig was indicted for his alleged involvement in the robbery, but his case has been sealed. An online undercover operation that has led to a man being indicted by a federal grand jury. Josel Sanchez Usana is charged with attempted enticement of a minor. The feds started the investigation last month. A special agent went undercover pretending to be a 14-year-old girl on Andersen Air Force Base. Court documents state the agent started talking online with Usana and repeatedly noted being underage before Usana started to send lewd messages. Usana agreed to meet up when authorities arrested him in the parking lot of the Andersen Base Visitor Center. Usana allegedly admitted to the feds he knew he was sending sexually explicit messages with teen girls.
Opening statements started today for a federal drug defendant. Joselito Cura is facing charges of 2 counts of distribution of 50 grams or more of meth, distribution of 5 grams or more of meth, possession with intent to distribute 50 grams or more of meth, and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Prosecutors say the DEA started its investigation in July of 2021, keeping watch of Cura's Dededo home, the case involving more than 30 grand, at least 350 grams of meth seized, and several handguns and rifles. Trial is underway before Chief Judge Francis Tadinko Gatewood.
Well, it's now time to get some fresh catch of the day.
The Fisherman's Co-op is back, offering all the seafood we know and love. KUAM intern Katie Azon has more.
An oh so familiar smell. Get your fresh fish at the Guam Fisherman's Co-op, now open and ready to serve you. It's an exciting feeling for Co-op President Manny Dueñas.
Well, we have a bunch of fresh fish on the market right now. We have tuna. We also have deep bottom fish available. But the fishermen are getting back into the groove of fishing.
All thanks, he says, to the efforts of a fish-loving community.
Yes, more than a year. We're excited. We're glad we're back. Many people have just come by just to say welcome back. And I'm really proud of the community support given us.
Dueñas sharing his heartfelt gratitude for the care and the help given in preparation for what's become an opening that's been smooth sailing.
Everybody stood behind us and pushed us forward. Without that incentive from them, we would probably still be shut down, but they gave us a lot of support.
As KUAM reported, reopening the co-op was met by several delays after the building took on damages from Typhoon Mawar. They are now open more than 1 year later.
Well, the facility is kind of new compared to our old one. Our old one was 30 years old, almost 40 years old actually. And this one is a temporary facility. However, we're hoping that in less than 2 years we can have our new full facility operating and running for everyone's use in the marina especially.
Dueñas adds the Fisherman's Co-op will continue to tackle any challenges and find ways to bring in fish for your weekday dinner or beachside barbecue.
It's every fisherman's dream as the Fisherman's Co-op is open today. Until then, come on down while I enjoy a fresh catch of the day. And you can enjoy it too.
I'm Katie Azon, reporting for KUAM News.
You can catch them Monday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah, it's located in Hagåtña between Chamorro Village and Bow Basin. And Des, did you get to try some of that poke that Manny gave us?
I did not, but I saw you guys bring like a huge plate of it, and I know everybody here tried it.
Yeah.
How was it? Did you try it?
Oh, I would say I devoured it, but I really only tried one piece. The team really did.
But I bet it was amazing. One piece for all.
Oh, so fresco.
Ooh, fresco.
That's
okay.
what the smell was like too in there. So go on and check them down there again, down in Hagåtña.
The effort to save the Raceway continues, racing enthusiasts dragging on the conversation in hopes leaders take action.
Plus, important decision 2024 news for Guam as primary race day inches closer.
something is calling, and I can't help it. That's not wrong when there ain't no soul. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when I make a move. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when let's take a break. There's no use. And see what's new. This is my mood when I make a move. 'Cause this is my mood when
We start with her and her local business. We start with them, celebrating 30 years. We start with big.
Welcome to Disatani. How may I assist you today?
Keep doing your best. Congratulations.
Small and growing businesses. We start with global connections and make them local. At GTA, we start with your business.
How deep do Pizza Hut's roots run in the islands? Through all the decades, we know what you love. Great taste at an even better price. Like our large one-topping carry-out pizza for just $15.99. You choose your favorite topping: pepperoni, olives, sausage, or any other single topping. Our $15.99 large one-topping pizza. Order online and carry one out today. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Welcome back to Primetime. The conversation on the future of the Guam Raceway continues to accelerate.
A day out from a public hearing on Bill 287, we meet the head of a new group looking to take the pole position in operating the Guam Raceway as a park.
A fresh face is taking the wheel of a group fighting to open the Guam Raceway.
It sounds like everyone's trying to find a solution, and that's what I'm here, is also to help try to find a solution.
Hans Atta now steering as the chairman of the Guam Motorsports Association, a non-affiliate of the Guam Racing Federation.
This is a new group that is going to responsibly operate and maintain this raceway. We are advocating for parity with the other sporting and recreational organizations on island, and we're advocating for a legislative lease.
And while the title of chairman may be a new role for Atta, this isn't his first time in the driver's seat.
I was born on island, but I grew up in the States professionally racing on and off road, particularly Formula cars, short course off-road racing. I also have a unique college degree where I learned how to engineer, design, build, set up the race car.
The professional racer now applying that expertise to help shift the gears of a piece of legislation involving the fate of the Guam Raceway. Atta echoing the desires for amendments to Bill 287 by other prominent voices in the racing community.
What we would like to do is have a public use license and not a commercial license, because it is the community of Guam essentially that is using this park. Also, we would like to enter into a legislative lease, not a 5-year lease with an RFP, because we cannot compete against other commercial enterprises.
Still, the new chairman adding he's thankful to lawmakers for their efforts to find a fix. Meantime, the conversation on the matter will continue Thursday at 4 p.m. at the Guam Legislature.
45 days left until the August 3rd primary election.
KUAM is your source for Decision 2024 election coverage. You can head over to our IG story and DM us for your questions for the candidates. This week on The Hub, we bring you the first of 5 rounds of interviews with the candidates hoping to lead in the 38th Guam Legislature. The senatorial candidates speaking with us on Wednesday are Republicans Vince Borja, William Payne, and incumbent Chris Duenas.
On the Democratic ticket, the candidates joining us this week are both incumbents, Joseph Augustine and Will Parkinson. Hear what they have to say to voters this Wednesday on The Hub following KUAM News Primetime, and get registered to vote. Visit gec.guam.gov for more.
Is
Wednesday,
Early
May
voting is among the items being discussed during tonight's Guam Election Commission meeting. Early voting for this year's primary race is being held at the Westin Resort in Tumon from July 15th through the 28th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Election Commission is also desperately looking for precinct officials to work the August 3rd primary and the November 5th general elections. Working as a precinct official does include a $500 stipend. To find out more how you can get involved, visit gec.guam.gov.
Talks of a temporary Simon Sanchez High School campus continuing with a public hearing on Bill 313. The legislation would authorize the construction of a temporary home for the Sharks on property owned by the Guam Housing Corporation, and that's adjacent to the existing GIGO campus. It would also permit the Guam Department of Education to enter into a memorandum of agreement with GHC to proceed. Guam DOE Superintendent Dr. Kenneth Swanson saying the project is estimated to cost $25 million. That's $17.5 million for the prefabrication and shipment of buildings and $8 million for infrastructure. He adds that the cafeteria, gym, and approximately 30 classrooms at Simon Sanchez are deemed usable and will be included in the temporary campus. The interim school is expected to accommodate 1,600 students over 3 to 4 years, while efforts to rebuild the permanent campus are ongoing. Once the school serves its purpose, the infrastructure will be left for the GHC's use. Meantime, FEMA has yet to approve the proposal, which could potentially be 90% reimbursable. Keep waving your pride flags.
That's right, and wave them proudly. A local organization doing its part to raise awareness and showcase the importance behind Pride Month. Now the celebration has made its way to the front lawn of the government offices at Adaloop. KUAM intern Shauna Murato reports.
Flags are flying high once again for Pride Month this June. Some even keeping themselves down to earth, like these little guys lining the front lawn at the Guam Congress Building in Hagåtña. But that's not all, as there's also been some prismatic new decor put up at the Governor's Complex in Adaloop. The colorful display on the front lawn of the Governor's office, all thanks to a donation by Equality Guam. The organization's Vice President Christian Camacho even sharing these words during a proclamation event held at the start of the celebration.
The LGBTQ community would not be what it is today if it was not for the queer people of color and Black and Latino trans women and men who fought for our rights all those years ago. And I would like to give them that recognition.
Now, midway into June, multiple spots around the island are showing pride just the same and embellishing with some rainbow accents. This year, Adaloop even adding color to its display for diversity by putting up the 26 donated progressive pride flags. And now showcasing not only solidarity for the LGBTQ+ community, but all the spectrums of people that fall within it as well.
And in the words of President of Equality Guam, Jay Sanchez, pride encapsulates the welcoming and accepting nature of the true Hafaday spirit. Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Shauna Murato.
A look back now in history. It was 3 years ago when President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris made remarks in the East Room of the White House about the historical significance of Juneteenth. The president then signing the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act into law, the legislation making Juneteenth June 19th a federal holiday, the first new federal holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. Day was established in 1983.
Juneteenth commemorates June 19, 1865, the day when enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas were notified that the Civil War had ended and they were free. The announcement came about 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation.
Closer to home, we are now just a couple of days away from the return of the Guam Art Exhibit. The Decent Place, formerly the Plaza Shopping Center, will play host to the summer showcase. GAX Now, you can see the room set up right there. Opening night is this Thursday, June 20th. This year's exhibit will pay homage to the great community of artists that set the foundation for GAX while paving the way for new and emerging creatives.
If you are an organization or individual who wants to get involved and be an ally for the arts, email guamartexhibit@gmail.com. We've also got the links to participate on our volunteer story on KUAM.com. The showcase will run from June 20th until the end of the month, and KUAM will be bringing you all the excitement from GAX as we celebrate the island's creatives.
Wow, I saw some of that artwork there. I saw a little painting with Freddy Krueger, I think.
Whoa.
It's not Halloween yet, but are you giving her some ideas for her next costume, huh?
Yeah, might pop out like that.
Frederica.
All right, now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a view of the flame trees in full bloom on Saipan at the American Memorial Park.
When my career in 1999 took me off of Guam, I wanted to go and learn more. I wanted to gain more experience. I was able to operate at the highest levels of Washington, D.C. I was a Deputy Assistant Secretary at Housing and Urban Development. I was the Deputy Inspector General for Iraq Reconstruction, reporting to a Secretary of Defense, a Secretary of State, and 8 committees of Congress, both the Senate and the House side. Guam is how I got there. I was able to succeed because of everything that I learned. But I was always going to come home to bring that experience, to bring that back to Guam so that I could do something that made a difference. I'm Ginger Cruz, candidate for Congress, and I approve this ad.
Welcome to Kmart, your 24-hour superstore since 1995. Always there for you day or night. At Kmart, we're committed to offering you an extensive selection of products at prices you won't find anywhere else. From the essential to the exceptional, our aisles are alive with possibility. Bloom with confidence, style, and savings this spring. Discover stylish clothing that fits your budget without compromising on quality. From trendy pieces to timeless classics, find the perfect look for every member of your family without spending a fortune. Then pamper yourself with our selection of essentials, from nourishing shampoos to rejuvenating beauty products and soaps. And let imagination soar with our selection of toys and games for kids of all ages. At Kmart, experience the thrill of discovery as you explore our aisles, filled with a variety of quality products that cater to your every need. From groceries to home goods to outdoor essentials, we are the ultimate one-stop shop. Dive into an unparalleled shopping experience where quality, variety, and savings await at every turn. Shop smart, save big at Kmart, your 24-hour superstore.
The innovation you've been waiting for is here. Built on the 16X Cheez-It platform, it's the first flavor matrix stable enough to make a Cheez-It tostada possible, and cheesy enough to power the Crunch Wrap. Because if you want to change the world, you have to bring something big to the table. Think big.
The opening ceremonies for the 10th Micronesian Games begins this weekend in the Marshall Islands, and Guam's 6-member track team heads to Majuro with golden aspirations and record-breaking goals. We've got a combination of savvy vets and young talent hungry to compete against the best in the region. We're also coming right into the meet fresh on the heels of the Oceania Championships, so our national team's in peak competitive form.
I knew all along this was part of the plan. I was going to go straight from Oceania, come back home for a few days, then go straight to Micro. So I knew mentally I had to be able to turn it on at Oceania, come back, reset, and get ready mentally, especially for Micro Games. So it's a quick turnaround, but I was prepared for it.
From my perspective, everyone's locked in, everyone has their own focus in their own training. Personally, I do the same thing where I just keep to myself a lot. Once I hear everything gets set, close my eyes, everything is blank, and just listen for that sound of the gun going off. And immediately it's just push off straight, and the only thing I can think of is slowly going up into that proper form.
Doing it for a long time,
I think my biggest thing has always been when I'm not when I'm not around the team, that's my time to actually work on my mental, you know, because coming out on the track and I'm alone, that's just all, it's all physical.
I'm running the 100, the 200, the 400 hurdles, and 100 hurdles. I'm running the same attitude, and I'm so excited and I'm ready still.
Well, definitely stay healthy and stay sharp, but there is a goal that they're trying to hit if the team can break the 4x4 mixed relay record.
I'm a distance runner, so I like to look at sprinters sometimes, see what they do to run faster. Yeah, it's more about like controlling your pace, controlling your breathing. It's not as much speed as it is being able to maintain your pace throughout the race. Sprinters are more of a technical, they have more technical events.
My go-to jam on Spotify is for a competition is maybe for like Oceania. I kept on listening to Earth, Wind and Fire by Boy Next Door.
Nice. Yeah. For sure, NMI will be. I think they're bringing a bigger team than we are, and almost twice as much. Palau probably as well, because I know they've got sprinters.
Well, for the younger athletes, I think it's great exposure. You know, they get to, the ones who are doing both Oceania and Microgames get to see, you know, the different levels of it all. Because in Oceania, we're competing against the best 20 in the world from Australia and New Zealand. So we go from that to competing in Micronesia, where the level of play is a lot different. So I think it's really good exposure and experience for these kids to have it. And then on my end, I'm really excited for Microgames because last time I went, it was a great time. It was really fun, and I'm really excited to go back and, you know, relive the joy that I got from it last time, and really remind myself, you know, why I enjoy doing the sport in the first place.
This is a bag, but for Steve, this bag gives him food cred, because now everyone knows that when they have that craving, or they're just looking for the perfect deal, well, they just need to follow Steve.
Follow him all the way to the new McTerry Deluxe at McDonald's. It's an all-beef patty smothered with teriyaki sauce topped with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. For a limited time, price and participation may vary.
Island Cancer Center has the only state-of-the-art Halcyon Linear Accelerator, providing radiation treatments in the Asia-Pacific region. We are excited to be back up and running after Typhoon Mawar. We have been providing the highest quality patient-centered care for 14 years and will continue to do so. Why? Because we love what we do. Island Cancer Center, our family treating your family. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 671-646-3363.
Why wait to get the upgrade you deserve? Head to IT&E and bring home the phone of your dreams today without the high upfront cost. No contract required. Simply pay it off in easy, affordable installments with a device payment plan. You'll even save more cash with a huge discount on unlimited data. Or choose the 10 gig plan for a lower monthly payment and unlimited access to your favorite social media apps. Sign up today for the phone you've always wanted on the plan that meets your budget. IT&E. Connect with savings.
You think KFC's new cheetah isn't pizza because it's made with crispy fried chicken? You think the marinara, mozzarella, and pepperoni aren't enough? Well, you're right. It's not pizza. It's cheetah. Only at KFC.
In this week's Giving Every Tuesday, nonprofit Be Heartfelt is making an urgent request for volunteers for an upcoming food donation drive. Be Heartfelt is a 100% volunteer-based organization that focuses on feeding and providing clothing, hygiene supplies, and more for homeless, orphans, and foster children. Currently, they're feeding over 250 kids weekly. A food donation drive is being held on June 21st and 22nd at all three Cost You Less locations in Harmon, Tamuning, and Chalampago. According to founder Lori Marble, volunteers are needed to sign up for 2-hour shifts at each location. The donation drive of canned goods and non-perishable food items is to help collect food for children in need that would feed them throughout the month of July. Since its inception, Marble through the Be Heartfelt has held various drives for snacks, clothing, shoes, and even socks, and the community has always come out to support, all to ensure that these children never go hungry and are prepared for school. The donation drive will be held on Friday, June 21st from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturday, June 22nd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Marble says some of the items needed include breakfast bars, juice boxes, snack foods, and hot and cold cereals. If you would like to set aside a couple hours of your time and volunteer, email contact@bheartfelt.com or follow @bheartfelt on Instagram. With this week's Giving Every Tuesday, Jonagan Charfris, KUAM News.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
Repetition is good, everybody, and we told you about Menzies Aviation's job fair last night. We're going to repeat it tonight because they have immediate job openings. That means if you have what it takes, if you have the drive, if you have the work ethic, no worries there. They can hire you today. They have opportunities right now in ground handling services and many other services. They are an equal opportunity employer. Make sure to check them out, and you must have a photo ID. Good luck to you. Menzies, good company, doing good things, aviation. All right, save the date and mark your calendars because the Micronesian Music Festival is going to happen down at Valley of the Lati in beautiful Talapofo. The event is made possible by Ikutureta and the Guam Waves Club and is from 9 to 5. Patrick Palomo and the Trade Winds will be playing along with Jonah Hanum, Trey Cunningham, and many, many more. It's Rhythm by the River, not to be missed, family friendly. And if you're in Saipan, a proclamation signing will be held on Friday the 21st to proclaim it Sinamai Nurses Week. Let us celebrate our nurses on Guam and abroad. It's going to happen at 3 p.m. in the conference room. That's what's happening. Get involved.
Time now for birthday wishes,
which you can submit on Cold. Actually, here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shoutouts, which you can submit on KUAM.com.
Hey guys, if it's your birthday on this 18th of June, right on, and happiest of birthdays to former Guam resident and the recently promoted Dustin Bacular, also known as Contamestre Vampiro, from all your friends and family back home. We hope you have many more birthdays to come, and thank you so much for always repping Capoeira Guam. Absolutely. Dustin, happiest of birthdays to you, man. Sending you the island love. Kayla Leon Guerrero, happy birthday to you. And then you get the, you know, like that emoji, the one with like all the streamers and stuff. Love and miss you from your Guam familia. That's a really special one. Jaden Chargaloff, big happy birthday to you, Jay. Blessings and birthday blessings always today. We are with you all the way up. Love the family and your biggest fans. Happy birthday to the bestie and one of the best Ninas ever, to Hannah. Love you so much and hope you have many more birthdays to come. And the one and only Tomasa Calvo, a member of our extended family here at KUAM. You know what? We all call her Masi, and I've known Masi since she was in this awesome play when she was at Academy. She's now a very successful business person. She's in fashion. She's an incredible designer. Most importantly, she's an amazing young woman. She's got Guam in her heart, and she is to be celebrated today. And Masi, your shout out says we love you so much and celebrate you today from your very, very proud familia, which includes us at KUAM. So we hope Masi and all of our birthday celebrants have the best day ever.
Happy birthday to all of you celebrating out there today. That's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Have a safe evening and stay beautiful.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Okay, everybody, House to Home coming at you. This issue just is not going away. We're talking, of course, about the nitrate system at Decedent Properties. Liz Duenas is here, Gina Campos is here, along with John Duenas, her husband, and the principal engineer at Duenas and Associates. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. I did a report last week because there was a public hearing downtown at the Guam Congress building. Of course, it was a variety of the senators, and it was brought up that now, in fact, this issue, which kind of stymied and hit a little roadblocks, it will be heard at a future legislative hearing. So that is a good thing. However, there has been at least one argument that has been brought to the table, and it's kind of a two-pronged thing, if I may, and give some context. It's been challenged that there is no scientific grounding to this nitrate system that we've been talking about now for the last month. So one, it's been challenged that
there's no scientific merit of the system. And then two, this is just a money grab by the private sector and people involved in the real estate issue. Uncle John and ladies, I would like to give you the floor and say, please address those two points.
I want to bring up the point that Senator Joanne Brown, Barnett, and Sabina Perez, their opinion is that the special interest group, the realtors, that it's all about money. And I think all realtors should be insulted by that comment. This issue has nothing to do with money. This issue has, the point that we're focusing on it is it allows our local people to build on their property that was given to them either through decedent maps or through parental subdivisions. And that's all it's about, to allow our people, especially during this housing shortage. And the mechanism of how it's about problem solving, how are we going to make it happen? And it's been a process to get to where we are today. People are jumping on the bandwagon, claiming that it's irresponsible, blah, blah, blah. Hey, this has been a 3 to 4 year process that we've been working on solving this problem. And again, I want to emphasize, Gina and I are not making money on this. Realtors aren't making money on this. This is about the ability to build on your property, and that's it. And we are also constituents and voters, and it's really insulting for senators to publicly state that we're all money hungry and greedy, and that this process is about that. So I want to put this out there to those senators. You know, it's election year. You don't treat people like this.
Well, and now as to the point as what is the scientific merit of this system, pro or con, we do have a scientist in the room right now. So John, as an engineer, there is a little bit of history leading up to this point as to probe into the science behind this nitrate system.
Right. So I'm a registered engineer. I wouldn't call myself a scientist, you know.
Well, you like math.
But so this whole process started in 2020 when Senator Bisco-Lee basically wanted to wipe out the exemption for the exemptions for parental subdivisions and decedent estates. She wanted to pass a law that says only that a unit can be built with a type 2 facility up in northern Guam over the aquifer, 1 unit per half acre, which is the EPA standard, 1 unit per half acre. And so we worked with them. We saw the problem. We saw the problem developing. We saw a clash between what was done for the community to allow parental subdivisions and decedent estates, the exemptions, and somebody's desire to regulate. So I worked with Guam EPA, Brian Bearden, who was the chief engineer there, Miguel Bordallo, who was the general manager of Waterworks, and Simon Sanchez, who was representing the CCU. And we came up with a bill that authorized the use of an advanced nitrate reducing system. We decided to call it Type 4. So if you hear the terminology Type 4, it refers to the advanced nitrate reducing system.
John was very involved in those discussions. The Water Energy Research Institute.
They were involved later, but I'm going to explain that in their research now. Dr. Abana up at Wary, he made it sort of a lifelong goal to study nitrates in our groundwater, a very noble goal, and he came up with a report that said we cannot distinguish the contribution of leaking sewers and discharges from septic tanks to the increasing nitrates in our groundwater. And he came up with a map of septic tanks and leaching fields in northern Guam, their occurrences, and water wells. Now, water wells is where they sample the concentration of nitrates. So they're depending on extracting water from water wells. There are water wells that are hot wells with very high nitrate concentration. I looked at his map. I saw a lot of anomalies. There is no, I would say there is no direct correlation, but because wastewater discharged into the ground has nitrates, it will contribute, whether it's a minute amount or a large amount. And let's say a minute amount. Basically, he comes out with a recommendation as such. He says there are two ways to deal with this. You connect people to sewer. And by the way, there are over 2,000 residential units within close proximity to sewer that are still using septic tank and leaching field. If you wanted to eliminate the nitrates coming from these thousands of units, connect them to sewer. Now, maybe the next question is, how are you going to pay for it? But that's a different question. If our groundwater is the most important thing we have up in northern Guam, that to me is the priority.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
But these advanced nitrate systems have been in use. They're in use in Japan, all over Japan. They're in use in the United States. A company called Fuji Clean. There are other companies that make these, by the way, so there's no recommendation to use Fuji Clean, but Fuji Clean.
Yeah, we referenced, I think it was it micronitrate systems in the state of North Carolina, I believe, ladies, and then last week we talked about some in California as well, or in Texas. I'm sorry.
I mean, they're all over. Yeah. So in 2021, Sabina Perez, Bisco Lee decided not to run. So this whole thing kind of died when she chose not to run. But then Sabina was elected in 2021, actually 2020, but you know, her term began in 2021. We brought this stuff up to her. She said, let's work on something a little bit more comprehensive. So I had many meetings, discussions, phone calls with Brian Beard and Guam EPA to come up with this legislation. Her chief of staff, George Lujan, participated, and we came up with legislation, recommended legislation that Sabina was supposed to introduce. But then she had to run again. She kind of put a pause to that, ran and won, and then promptly forgot about the whole thing. We brought it up to her in 2022. We told her that, hey, we need to get this going. She said, you know, it's in my committee, and she had no intention of moving it. Remember that?
Yeah.
No intention of moving it. So it came around to this legislative year. We kind of were looking around which senator down in the legislature could actually help us, because Sabina had no intention of introducing this thing. Chris Duane has volunteered. He said there are ways to get this on the floor. And so he went through that process, and you saw the results during the Rules Committee meeting. The point was made by Joanne Brown and by Sabina. There is no committee report. You know who writes the committee report? Sabina. So if she never writes one and never issues it, puts it online as Senator Duane has wanted to do, then it would never happen. But there was a process, and it came to the Rules Committee. Now it's on the floor.
Okay, so again, with respect to the challenge about science, there has been some documented evidence and reports and meetings that have been had, and it was in agreement with more than one party from, I guess, the organizations for whom you would expect their opinion would carry like a lot of weight about the scientific merit of this.
That's correct. There is there's something I need to point out, that throughout the whole process, there was an example on Guam of a nitrate system being used. Data collected, submitted to WERI. It was David Damian. Actually, the system itself is being used by our office manager and part owner of our company, Anne-Marie Damian Cruz. She uses the system, and she's been using it since it was installed a decade ago. And it's working. So it's a perfect example. It works on Guam. It's in Jigo over the groundwater protection zone.
So if you want to consider that like a little micro experiment, I mean, for what it's worth, there is that evidence.
They were trying to qualify that as a mini experiment, but for some reason, just bottled up at WERI.
Okay, well, okay. I want to bring in Gina right now, because I know, Gina, you've been chomping at the bit to weigh in on this. What thoughts do you have?
Well, Jason, one of the comments that I heard when I was there at that committee meeting was, because we brought up that this system, this family has been trying to get this system approved for the last 10 years, and WERI has been studying this system. And what I was told was, well, it's only one system. So how are we going to get data if it's just one? Well, how are you going to get data if you don't allow the system to, right now we have septic tanks, and the thing that is major for me
I think that's funny too. Yeah. How do you get data without a system? How do you get a system without data?
Oh, you look at other locations, Jason. There are millions in use. It's in use. A million locations. So, hey.
And the point is, it's been in use even in Japan and all over, to the degree that the results of the system is like drinking water. And Gina,
I wouldn't go that far.
but some people use it for irrigation.
I mean, there are some that you could buy a much better quality system that could produce. But here's the thing that here's, one of the other comments that was brought up with one of the senators, and people have been sending it to me and Liz, is that there are special interest groups that are showing up because they're motivated by the profit margin, the money that is involved. Well, I'm going to tell you who our special interests are, because yes, I guess I better buy a t-shirt that says special interests. Yeah, they've got names. I can tell you who they are. And that's why we're showing up. Liz and I will make more money staying in our office and focusing on our work. But our special interest people, they want us to go down there and back them up, because here's the biggest, this is why we all got involved in this. This is only affecting parental, not even parental. What is going on is only affecting decedent landowners, because parental landowners currently right now, and I don't know how long it's going to hold, they can get a building permit for their property. People who receive their property as a decree from the court, you went through probate and you got your map from the court, you are the one that is unable to use your property, because EPA is saying that the exemption doesn't apply to you, even though we've read the law. And it has always, until 2018, when Captain Bearden became chief engineer at EPA, it had always been observed that if you're a decedent landowner, you can have your property subdivided based on the law, because you can't subdivide if it's not based on the law. And then you get your map. So basically, the reason we're showing up is because these people are the only ones that are not being allowed to build on their property.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Real.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day. I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. Although Guam can feel like summer all year long, June marks the beginning of the summer season, with summer solstice officially the first day of summer on June 21st, with Father's Day on June 16th, with kids out of school, with teachers getting their much needed break. We turn our focus more on fun and festivities, and for some of you who are lucky enough, maybe even some rest, relaxation, and vacation time. Well, at Synergy Studios, June has also been a celebration of yoga, with National Day of Yoga on the 21st, as well as Synergy's Anniversary Month. This year, Synergy Studios celebrates 20 years of service. With the motto, "Where fitness meets wellness," Synergy opened up in 2004 with that goal and mission in mind, bridging the mind, body, and spirit for holistic fitness and wellness, providing a workout as well as a work-in. Synergy started with a plant-based detox program and just 4 different classes: dance, Pilates, Taibo, and yoga. When Synergy first opened back in 2004, there were only a handful of fitness studios and gyms on Guam. Synergy was the first brick-and-mortar yoga studio and had just 4 instructors. A lot has changed over the years. Over the last 20 years, many more fitness studios and gyms, as well as even outdoor fitness groups, have popped up. From CrossFit to circuit training to spinning, Zumba to mixed fit, yoga to Pilates, all kinds of fitness organizations have popped up and have allowed Synergy Studios and other longtime gyms like Paradise Fitness the opportunity to step up. With a larger selection of facilities and groups available, each and every facility is pretty much forced to step up or step out. And that's pretty much how it works. And so that added motivation and inspiration is a wonderful thing. This has led to more satellite facilities, even with Paradise Fitness's additional Tumon location. And in Synergy's case, 2 locations now, along with 3 hotel partnerships. So from 3 to now 20 instructors, from 2 to now 9 staff, and from 4 different types of classes to 15 different types of classes, offered 7 days of the week. Synergy has evolved tremendously over the last 2 decades. So to celebrate all of this, Synergy will have an open house and wellness fair on the 29th of June. That is a Saturday. And the week leading up to the open house and wellness fair, all 34 classes that week prior will be open to the public free of charge. There will be specials on class packages, on memberships, on the new Pilates Reformer class passes, which have been a huge hit, and all of the wellness services from the far infrared sauna to crystal light healing bed, including special rates for the end of the summer 21-day detox program, which will be happening in August. There will be vendors and raffle prize giveaways, light refreshments, and a whole lot of fun. And with Father's Day as well this month, Synergy is also promoting wellness services with sessions in the far infrared sauna and crystal light healing bed, with plant-based nutritious and delicious shakes, as well as class packages. So as you can see, there is a lot to celebrate this month. We have been gifted these amazing, incredible bodies that do what they do to keep us alive and well. And so it's with much pleasure that over the past 20 years, with much pleasure and gratitude, that we have been open the past 20 years and counting. Synergy continues to offer tools in how to give back to these incredible bodies in a holistic way, to offer an integrative approach in keeping balance, wellness, and homeostasis in the mind, body, and spirit. For more information, you can go to www.synergyguam.com. You can visit Synergy on Instagram at Synergy Studios Guam, or you could call 472-YOGA. Thank you so much. I will see you next time on your Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Is KFC's new pizza?
Fried chicken? That's not pizza.
That's right. It's not pizza. It's pizza. Only at KFC.
Just as the shore gathers an array of shells, each unique in shape, size, and color, our world gathers people of various backgrounds, cultures, and perspectives.
Diversity is all around us. It's what makes us individually unique and expand our world when we are one.
Honor those in our community who have passed away. Pay your respects and learn information about funeral services on KUAM.com. Offer your condolences and share the memories you will treasure forever.
KUAM online obituaries are made possible by Ada's Mortuary, family-owned and operated since 1972, setting the standard for funeral and cremation services.
Health Check is brought to you locally by Island Cancer Center.
The stark warning from the nation's top doctor accelerates a national push to limit kids' access to social media. In the New York Times, the Surgeon General writes, the mental health crisis among young people is an emergency, and social media has emerged as an important contributor. On Today, Dr. Murthy said adolescents average 5 hours per day on social media.
When adolescents spend more than 3 hours a day on social media, we're seeing an association with a doubling of risk of anxiety and depression symptoms.
Surgeon General Murthy wants congressional approval to add a warning label on social media, much like the warning on cigarettes. Research suggests texts, posts, and online bullying can undermine kids' self-confidence, especially body image, with some taking their own lives.
Many of them say that they can't get off it because the platforms are often designed to maximize how much time our kids are spending on them.
You have blood on your hands.
In January, top social media CEOs faced bipartisan fury. CEO Mark Zuckerberg apologized to victims' families, insisting Meta Facebook is working to reduce social media's harmful effects.
To make sure that no one has to go through the types of things that your families have had to suffer.
The Surgeon General recommends phone-free zones at school and at home during meals, bedtime, and social gatherings. And kids should have no access to social media until they're out of middle school.
I think we're going to find out just how addictive this stuff is. I have an unhealthy relationship with these things. I can admit that. And so to let my kids into it. They're not ready.
Jacqueline Brostein says her kids can wait until they're 16. 10-year-old David says he's in no rush for a phone.
People are always staring at them in like restaurants and like literally everywhere they go, and like that makes me feel like bad, and I don't like that.
Meanwhile, New York is set to become the first state to prohibit social media companies from using algorithms to target children, while the LA Unified School District could soon join others in banning cell phones during the school day.
KUAM TV